Did you know that Brazilians spend more than 5 billion reais a year on painkillers? And that most people with chronic joint pain take at least 2 different pills a day? But here's something pharmacies don't want you to know. There's a homemade formula that can be more effective than many expensive over-the-counter medicines. I know this might sound like just another empty promise from the internet, but stay with me for a few minutes, and you'll find out why this recipe is making doctors and pharmacists worried. We're talking about an ointment made with just 2 ingredients, which you probably already have in your kitchen right now. Before I tell you what these ingredients are, I need to break a belief that by keeping you dependent on medication, the pharmaceutical industry wants you to believe that joint pain is too complex to be treated naturally, that you need formulas made in a lab to get relief. But the truth is that our body has natural mechanisms to fight pain and inflammation, and there are substances in nature that can activate these mechanisms. Think about it with me. Thousands of years ago, long before pharmaceutical labs existed, people were already treating pain and inflammation using plants and spices. Our ancestors didn't have aspirin, ibuprofen, or diclofenac, but they had knowledge about the healing power of nature, and that knowledge, well, it still works. So, what's the secret behind this formula that has helped thousands of people break free from their dependence on painkillers? There are 2 ingredients that work in perfect synergy. One of them directly targets inflammation, which is the root of most joint pain. The other one, well, this one is even more interesting because it literally shuts off the pain signals that reach your brain. The first ingredient is turmeric, but hold on, it's not just any turmeric. It has to be powdered, high quality, and applied in the right way. Turmeric, also known as Indian saffron, contains a compound called curcumin, which is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories that exists. Imagine it like this. When you have joint pain, it's as if there's a fire inside your joint. The inflammation is that fire, and curcumin acts like a specialized firefighter, who not only puts out the fire but also prevents it from spreading. Curcumin works by blocking several molecules that are involved in the inflammatory process in our body. It's as if it closes several gates at the same time, preventing inflammation from spreading and causing more pain. And what's most interesting is that it does this without harming the stomach or kidneys, unlike many synthetic anti-inflammatories. Scientific studies have proven that curcumin can be as effective as anti-inflammatories like diclofenac, but without the side effects that harm the stomach and kidneys. In a study conducted in 2020, people with knee arthritis used an ointment A, containing only 5% curcumin for 6 weeks, and the results were impressive. The pain decreased significantly, the inflammation was reduced, and best of all, there were no side effects. But here's what makes this formula really special. The second ingredient, we're talking about cayenne pepper. I know what you're thinking. How can something that burns actually bring relief? Contradictory, isn't it? But nature is wise and the explanation is fascinating. Cayenne pepper, also known as red pepper or capsicum, contains capsaicin, a substance that can initially cause a sensation of heat or burning, but it has a very specific effect. In your nervous system, it reduces something called substance P, which is basically the chemical messenger that carries pain information from the injured area to your brain. Think of it this way. Imagine that pain is like a phone call between the site of the injury and your brain. Substance P is the one making that call. When you reduce substance P using capsaicin, it's like you're hanging up the phone between the site of the pain and your brain. The pain is there, but the brain doesn't get the message or gets much less of it. In addition, capsaicin increases blood circulation in the area where it is applied. This means more nutrients reaching the site of the injury, more oxygen to speed up healing, and a feeling of relief that is often immediate. That's why cayenne pepper is recommended for conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, diabetic neuropathy, and even tension headaches. Now, here's the most interesting part. When you combine these two ingredients, they create a powerful synergy. Turmeric targets the cause of pain, which is inflammation, while cayenne pepper interrupts the perception of pain. It's like having an army fighting on two different fronts at the same time. While turmeric is putting out the fire of inflammation, cayenne pepper is cutting the wires that transmit pain. But turning these ingredients into an ointment that you can apply to your skin is simpler than you think. And I'm going to teach you step by step. Now you're going to need half a cup of oil. It can be sunflower oil, which is the cheapest, or if you want to invest a little more, coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil also work very well. The oil will serve as a vehicle to extract and carry the active ingredients from our ingredients. Think of the oil as a natural solvent, which will pull all the medicinal substances from the turmeric and cayenne pepper. Besides the oil, you will use 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper powder and 1 tablespoon of turmeric powder. Oh, and an important detail, the cayenne pepper needs to be of good quality. If you buy a very weak pepper, it won't have enough capsaicin to be effective. If you buy one that's too strong, it can cause skin irritation. Cayenne pepper, which is ideal for this recipe, has a moderate to high level of spiciness. Now for the process. You will put the oil in a container that can be heated. It can be glass, tempered glass, or stainless steel. Never use plastic or aluminum containers. Add the cayenne pepper and turmeric, mix well with a wooden spoon, and cook in a double boiler over very low heat for 20 to 30 minutes. The secret is that the temperature can't be too hot, because it will destroy the active compounds, but it needs enough heat for the oil to extract all the medicinal properties. The ideal temperature is when you can keep your hand near the steam without burning yourself. If it starts to make too much steam or bubble, the heat is too high. During these 20 minutes, you'll stir it from time to time to make sure everything is well mixed and the powder doesn't stick to the bottom of the container. Then, turn off the heat and let it cool completely. This can take 2 to 3 hours. During this cooling time, stir a little every half hour to prevent the powder from settling at the bottom. When it's cold, repeat the process one more time. This second extraction is important because it ensures you get the most out of the ingredients. Some active compounds are released more easily during the second extraction, so don't skip this step. To turn this oil into an ointment, you'll need beeswax. Beeswax is easy to find at natural cosmetics stores, beekeeping supply shops, or even online. For half a cup of oil, use half a spoon of. Heat the oil again in a double boiler, add the wax, and stir until it melts completely. The wax will give it an ointment-like consistency, which makes it easier to apply and helps the product last longer on the skin. The ideal consistency is when the ointment is firm at room temperature, but melts easily when you rub it between your fingers. If it gets too soft, add a bit more wax. If it gets too hard, add a little more oil. Remove from the heat, pour into small containers. They can be dark glass or small tins, and let it cool. Completely done. Your anti-inflammatory and analgesic ointment is ready to use. If stored properly in a cool, dry place, it lasts up to 6 months without losing its properties. How to use: apply to the painful area. 3 to 4 times a day, always with clean hands. Gently massage until the skin absorbs it. The ideal amount is about the size of a pea for an area the size of your palm. It's important to be patient. For chronic pain, like arthritis, results may take 5 to 7 days to appear. This happens because the reduction of substance P is not immediate, and the inflammation also needs time to decrease. But when they start to appear, you'll notice a significant difference. Now, some important warnings you need to know first. This ointment stains fabrics, so be careful with clothes and sheets. Turmeric leaves a yellowish color which can be hard to remove. Wear old clothes during the treatment or protect your clothes with a towel. Second, always wash your hands well after applying, because cayenne pepper can irritate your eyes and mucous membranes. If you happen to touch your eye after applying the ointment, wash it immediately with plenty of cold water. Third, if you feel skin irritation, stop using it immediately. Some people are more sensitive to capsaicin, and that's normal. You can try reducing the amount of cayenne pepper in the recipe and make a milder version. Fourth, this does not replace medical supervision. If you have severe chronic pain, seek a healthcare professional. This ointment is a complement to the treatment, not a replacement. Never apply to open wounds, irritated skin, or mucous membranes, and always test on a small area of skin before using on a larger area. For headaches, you can apply it to your temples and forehead, but avoid the eye area. For joint pain, apply directly to the painful area. For muscle pain, gently massage it into the affected region, and remember, consistency is key. Use regularly to achieve the best results. This formula has helped people with rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, diabetic neuropathy, and general muscle pain. It's not magic, but it's science. Science that nature offers us for free, but few know how to use it correctly. Here's an extra tip. If you can't find cayenne pepper, you can use other hot peppers, like dedo de mosa pepper or malagueta pepper, but always be mindful of the spiciness level to avoid irritation. Now I want to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to dealing with joint pain? Have you ever tried any natural remedies before? Are you going to try this recipe? Tell us in the comments. What's your situation? Because your story can help other people who are going through the same problem. If this content was helpful for you, share it with that person you know who suffers from chronic pain. Sometimes the information that can change someone's life is just one share away. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, because we have a lot more content about natural health and alternative treatments coming up. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.